What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Brewing the Key. I'm Jay. I'm your host, and I think Marcus Smart needs to be humbled and go sit to the bench.
Dang.
He's playing well, bro.
Yeah,
No,
just made a
bro,
couple
that doesn't
mistakes.
matter. I've been watching, man, and he hasn't been playing that well. That was ridiculous.
Nah, offensively, that's an out of control player, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's pretty funny. What's going on, everybody? My name is Kaim, and I'm the host that's very behind on Christmas shopping. So if anybody listening to this is my friends and family, bro, good luck. Good luck. I need to get started. Maybe send me a list, send me some ideas, because I'm falling behind.
Hey, man, bro, say good luck. You may or may not get a gift.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's going on, everyone? My name is Grant, and I'm the host who can't hide my disdain for the Thunder anymore. I see it now. I see the well-run franchises like number one team, 24-2, 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah.
I just look at my Clippers and I'm like, why can't y'all be this?
Oh.
But they will never be that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the Clippers, we got a great one for you. We're going to talk about how they did CP3 dirty. We're going to talk about LeBron's 10 points per game streak finally coming to an end, but at a good cost. And finally, we're going to talk about the Thunder, who finally lost the game. So, boys, CP3, legend, all-time great point guard, wanted to retire with the team that he spent the most time with. Arguably their best player in franchise history, even though like they're not a great franchise, but still. And they just cut him. They just they just cut him, and they're not winning anymore. Like they weren't winning before, they're not winning after.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. Grant, you have faith in the Clippers sometimes.
Yeah, you're a Clippers fan.
Low key, you're a Clippers fan. So what do you think of that?
God, I have to fully eat my words, brothers, because I remember going on this podcast about 5 to 6 weeks ago and saying that the Clippers may be a championship contender. The type of hoops I've been watching from the LA Clippers has been absolutely disgusting, distasteful, has left such a bad taste in my mouth. And I don't know what they thought was going to happen by cutting CP3. Now, I do understand CP3 does have a reputation for kind of being a little squirrely, a little ratty, like kind of the Napoleon complex. But I didn't think they were going to cut the man. And to be honest, that has to be the worst way any Hall of Fame player has gone out. Your last season, you're thinking like, oh, maybe a homecoming with my team. Nah, bro, 20 games into the season, you're off the squad, bro. You're off the squad. And dang near, I don't think you'll see a floor again. Honestly, the Clippers are just a poorly run franchise. They love old players too much. Kawhi and James Harden, even though I can't really blame James Harden because he's kind of pulling his weight.
Yeah,
they're just not a well-constructed roster. I like Tyronn Lue, but brother is on the hot seat, and he's probably been on the hot seat for a while, even though we don't want to admit it. But it's time for the overhaul. And even worse, you don't own your pick. In a generational draft, you don't own your pick. So, for the next 3 to 5 years, the Clippers are just, it's rough. It's rough for them. And, on brand. On brand.
Yeah, bro. The Clippers cutting CP3, bro. I actually wish, how like they have to do all this stuff in the media, all this PR stuff where they don't really tell you what's going on. You might hear some rumors on Twitter. You might hear some like long piece or book written a few years later. But like, I actually feel like for cutting CP3, bro, the reporters should have went in there and been like, nah, bro. Every time they give a fluff answer, the next reporter should have been like, yo, just following up on the exact same question. Yo, why exactly, bro? I need an actual play-by-play. Like, was this some goddamn Ime Udoka stuff, bro? Was this like some Michigan? Because, bro, besides some Ime Udoka stuff or some Michigan coach stuff, or like, I don't understand how you cut NBA legend for being mean, because I feel like he's actually so good, and maybe that's why he got cut, because maybe he felt this way as well. But like, the player is so elite that he can't go out like this. Like, I think after it happened, I remember I texted y'all boys, I said, bro, the league has to step in and say no. Like, this actually cannot be how somebody like Chris Paul retires, because the issue is, for example, My youngest brother is 13. This is actually how he's going to remember Chris Paul. My brother's not going to remember when Chris Paul was going crazy on the Hornets in like 06. So this is this man's legacy. I actually think it's bad for him. Now, I agree with you, Grant. Apparently, he has like bristled people. He rubs people the wrong way sometimes. I've never seen an NBA legend, bruh, just get cut. Like, he can't just ride the pine. He's in year 22, bruh. You only have to deal with it for a few more games. Let him ride the pine. And we're not winning. It's not like, I understand that they might be thinking, yo, we get this voice out of here. Everybody's happy. We start winning. No, we're still not winning. They should actually still, even right now, call up the media and say, yo, we made a mistake. We made a mistake, bro. We're bringing him back, bro. We're bringing him back. Because he deserves the farewell tour, bro. I would have liked to see it. If the Clippers came to Atlanta, if they haven't come yet, that's a game I would have potentially gone to go see, bro. Because even though we don't talk about him that much as LeBron, Steph, KD, CP3 is an actual legend. Like, he's a genuine, like, probably top 30 guy all time. Surprising.
What? Top 30.
High, low key. Yeah, Chris Paul, he's cool. No, but it's just weird. I mean, some people were saying all he was doing in the locker room was saying, "Dang, can y'all play harder? Can you coach better?" Like, bro, like maybe he was cussing and stuff, but he was like, "Dang, like." He was probably calling Tyronn Lue a bad coach, and he was probably saying y'all could do better. And he was right. They could. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now, and they can't blame him. They can't blame him. So it's just weird. And, you know, I'm not a Tyronn Lue hater, but I do like him around about the same as much as I like Doc Rivers. So,
bro, that's your least favorite coach. What do you mean? That means you hate the man.
But yeah, if you don't give Tyronn Lue like straight gold to work with, there's not much he can do for you.
You know what? But if you don't give any coach straight goal to work with, they can't do a lot unless
yeah, Brad. Phil Jackson, Brad. Phil Jackson won championships with Michael Jordan.
I'm sorry, bro. That's not true. There's some coach, bro. Like, for example, the Trailblazers, Tiago Splitter. They're not the best team, but them boys have beat the Warriors 3 times.
But the Trailblazers have pieces. They have 3-and-D pieces. They have people who are breaking out. Like, I can't say that.
Maybe the Thunder.
And I just see them as an old franchise. And it should have been foreboding when they lost to the Jazz the first game. When they lost to the Jazz the first game of the season, I should have been like, is this team sorry?
Nah, bro. But the Trailblazers aren't winning a chip, bro. That's the issue. Like, you need a superstar to win a chip, man. So if Kawhi Leonard's going to be in and out and not play like his prime self did, Brad, they can't win a chip. Now, what I will agree is they shouldn't be the bottom feeders. They should be a 7 or 8 seed or something like that. I don't know what's wrong with them and Dallas this year. They seem too talented to be where they are in the standings.
I don't know. It's old, unathletic. They can't keep up. It's the pace. They can't keep up with the league now. The league is too athletic and young. So
yeah, I have noticed that older players, they do get phased out. Like even when I was watching the Lakers and LeBron, this is a nice segue. But like he can't, bro. There's been times like before it's like LeBron doesn't play defense. Now you really want this man to run back on a fast break and the game's not on the line on this very possession? It's not. It's literally not happening.
He's not doing it, bro.
And like you don't see anybody get mad about it. He's just not doing. He's not doing that. He's not doing that.
And
yeah, bro, it's crazy. Clippers it's tough, but the league is getting past them by, and they don't have their pick, like you said. So it'll be another year before, and their pick is going to the Thunder.
Bro,
they got to get it together, bro. They could like all jokes aside, they could give the Thunder a top 5 pick. And the Thunder might win the championship and still get a top 5 pick. That would just be, I'm sorry, bro. I don't care about any of this anymore. I was about to make a funny joke. I'll tell you boys after. But, bro, at this point, Adam Silver needs to lock into some fascism, bro. And actually be like, bro, no. Like, nah. Y'all get a top 5 pick? Actually, no. I'm taking that joint, bro. I'm moving it to the back of the first round. For no reason, no explanation. I just do what I want.
He might do it, bro.
He'll never do that.
He might just do that. He's like, yo, small market team? Nah, I'm not doing it.
Give me that.
The shareholders in the background are like, yeah, we can't do that,
all right.
bro. But yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing that to them, bro. I just checked the prices for their Christmas Day game against the Spurs. The prices aren't even crazy. Small market team.
Mm,
Really? OKC Spurs Christmas Day?
I
about
saw a ticket for 120. I might actually go.
Dang. How'd the league predict that? That's actually I wouldn't have expected that at the beginning of the season to be like a great game, but it
Oh,
might be.
they be knowing. The league be knowing, bro.
Yeah.
they used
But
Kalshi. They used the poly market.
They use Kalshi to bet on the rivalry.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's-
We're not sponsored. It'd be nice.
moving on. LeBron's 10-point game streak has come to an end. And that's like for life, bro. Like we've never seen that. Like,
Yeah.
basically never seen that. The man has averaged 20 his entire career. Like this is his lowest points per game ever. And
Yeah.
so it was, obviously it was bound to happen. I was just talking about earlier how he's been slowing down and he passed the ball and they won the game at least, So
Won the game.
it was like, it's one of those things that you would think it's scripted because it was just like, I can go for this, but make the right play, win the game. Shout out to Rui.
Yeah, good shot.
Yeah, Kaim, I know that's your boy. Was it
Yeah.
heartbreaking?
It in the sense I can be dramatic. In the sense of like watching my favorite player decline, it was a little emotional. But I mean, it's a Disney way. It's like you said, I don't know if it's scripted or not, but if the streak's gonna go out, it's kind of hard to be super sad when Rui just hit a buzzer beating game winning three. So I mean, that's a crazy way to go out. He was struggling too. It wasn't like he took 2 or 3 shots, LeBron. He took like 20 shots. He was just bricking everything. So, it's kind of him. I think from the perspective of like, it seems impossible. Like after watching, like I've been watching Bron consistently since 2010. Like I wasn't even watching when this streak started, and it seems impossible for him to score less than 10 off straight up layups. Like he's averaging probably 10 on layups per game, and so, I mean, the burst to like beat people off the dribble isn't quite there anymore, bro. At this point, Bron's dang near a facilitator. He's a facilitator that if he gets hot, like you don't want to leave him open. He's a facilitator you can't leave open. But truly, when I see him go 1-on-1, I don't have a whole lot of confidence anymore. What's happening is I think teams are just kind of overreacting to the fact that his name is LeBron James, and so they send 2. And when you send 2, yeah, he's going to dice you up still. The passing is still there, but I think this is just indicative of A, he's getting older, but B, and Grant, you talked about this a little bit before we started. He is just also playing behind Luka now, and it's probably way, way different to get used to, bruh. Different to get used to. Because even though he played with Kyrie, who took a lot of shots, it's like everybody watching was like, nah, Bron's still number one. And now he probably came into the season thinking he'll be number 2, but Austin Reeves has been hooping so much that he might even be number 3. So he's just, he's finding his way. But it was a little emotional, bro. That joint, they said it when it broke. That joint's been going on since 2007.
Yeah.
That's OD. That's OD. So my first reaction was like a little bit sad, but he looked happy. So I was like, all right, if he looked happy, I mean, bro, that's his life goal. I guess I need to lock in and focus on mine.
Hey, I don't think Bron's unhappy because the way I look at this Lakers team, if they win a championship, no one could ever say that Bron didn't contribute. Like, Bron was the third option, and Bron contributed, again, every 2 to 3 nights. He's second option, first option. Still can put up 30 and 10. Still can put up 25 and 5 and 5. So it's not like he was riding the pine. And I think the team just doesn't need him as much. Like, thankfully, they have constructed a roster that does not need him as much, which I actually think he's happy about. He's like, fuck, I can take a break someday. Bro, I don't have to run back on defense every single time. Like, I can conserve my legs. I can chill. I don't have to take everyone to the hoop every single time. And I'm actually, I think when he goes 1-on-1, he usually can get to the hoop. He usually can get there. Now, finishing sometimes when they send the second one, it's kind of hard to finish, and that's where I think the burst is lacking. Like,
you're right.
But he usually gets there straight up grown man strength, grown man strength. Which, I mean, again, he gets to the hoop, he dishes. That's why he got He's gotten like 6 assists a game, 7 assists a game. So
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with the 10-point streak ending, and it did end in a very poetic way.
Yeah.
I think the team is just good. I'm going to eat my words again. I didn't think Lakers were going to be this good. The team's just that good. Now all they got to do is compete with the Thunder.
Yeah. That's all.
We'll see if that happens.
So that's gonna lot. Speaking of the Thunder, they finally lost another game.
Yeah.
They finally lost another game.
They lost.
I was watching because I had been watching like the last couple of NBA like cup games and stuff, and so I think they had played the Suns before, and they pieced them boys up like badly. Like it was so bad. Like I was watching, and I think they were up 50 at halftime, and I was like, yeah. Oh no, like 30 at halftime. They finished winning by like 50. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore because the Suns could not do anything. The Spurs, on the other hand, they had no answer for Wemby, and that man only played a little over 20 minutes. They couldn't stop him. And I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if it's propaganda or what, but I didn't know he had beef with Chet, apparently. Or they had beef with each other.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know this thing. People were saying, like, yeah, Wemby hates Chet. And I'm like, dang, why? Because they're both tall 7-footers.
Yeah, like, what the heck?
I was like, damn, am I missing the lore? Because I feel like I've seen them play before, and I don't remember the beef. And Shea's foul baiting finally. After the game, Wemby said, well, that's what happens when you play ethical hoops. You win.
Yo.
I think it's what's scary. I think about the Thunder is okay. They lost. Every team's gonna lose, but every time the Thunder lose, it is by a margin of 2 to 3 points.
Well, yeah, they didn't get pieced up or anything.
Yeah.
Every time they win by 30, 40, 50. So it's very sad that the league's at a point where, bro, when the Warriors went 24-2 or 24-1, I was glued to the TV. I watched every game. It was a highlight reel every game. I don't watch the Thunder every game. And maybe it's because the way they win, like, it's on the defensive end. I will be honest, it is on the defensive end. Their offense comes and goes, but their defensively will honestly lock down any team. So the defense comes every night. That's why they blow teams out by 20, 30, because the defense is just that much more superior. I am kind of in the camp where they probably are a little bit more physical than you would think for today's defense.
Yeah.
They kind of slide.
I would say they get away with a lot.
Yeah, they get away with it.
But I think it's just not that interesting to watch. It's not that interesting to watch. And they're going to, of course, go to the playoffs, probably be Western Conference Finals, and it's going to be, okay. And it's just going to be a little boring.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. I do think I saw the clip that I think led to what them talking about the Wemby versus Chet. And Taylor Rooks asked Wemby, like, what's it like going up against Chet? And Wemby was just like, I mean, anybody can be good if you're playing with SGA. I mean, so of course, if you play with SGA, then yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard, which is kind of funny. By the end of the day, I mean, I don't think that's quite true. I think Chet holds his own on offense and defense for that team. But I think Wemby. I didn't know this because Wemby's a little bit like he seems a little bit quieter, but I think Wemby is really just almost thinking, bro, why are you asking me about Chet? Like that's a second, third option. Like yeah. I'm a Hall of Fame type guy. I think he's just I think he's like, bro, like that would be like that's like asking Kobe about like, dang, are you gonna struggle with picking up JJ Redick? It's like, I mean, JJ Redick's a dangerous guy. He might knock down a few threes, but that's a question for the coach or something. I'm Hall of Fame. So I get that. And the Thunder are really good. Really good. Like Grant said, they've only lost twice. They lose close. So because they're so good, because I'm like you, Grant, I actually didn't watch. I went back and watched on League Pass the condensed game. Y'all ever seen the condensed game that takes out literally all bull jive? It's like 45 minutes. I watched the condensed game because I'm like, I haven't been as tuned into the Thunder as I probably should for a team that good, because it's just like, bruh. And I have a little bit of hater tendencies with them because they're good, but it's not the same. Like when the Steph and KD Warriors were this good, my hater tendencies were way up because I had like a reason. Like you watch them, it's like you said, Grant, about the boring. The Steph KD Warriors just a three ball everywhere. They got Steph, Clay, KD. It's crazy. You got Draymond elbowing people in the face, kicking people in the nuts. Like it's way different. The Thunder are straight business, bruh. Great business. They just run through your squad. So what I think we just kind of saw was the Spurs have put together a good team. They're a couple years behind the Thunder most likely, but the Spurs have a good team, and they've showed that. They showed that when they beat the Lakers without Wemby in the quarterfinals. They showed that when they beat the Thunder, and they might win this joint. I think I would if you force me, I'd probably take them over the Knicks in the final game. They have the guards, they have the big, I'm sure in the next couple of years. And right now, Harrison Barnes is playing at a championship level on the wing, and I'm sure over the next couple of years, they'll replace him with somebody younger. So I think that this is the next rivalry, bruh. I think this is the next rivalry, and really over the next like 3 years, I will say, the Spurs might be our last line of defense to prevent the Thunder from goddamn becoming the MJ Bulls. The Spurs might be our last line of defense.
It was really funny because so like it's scary because Wemby, I feel like he's still not at the prime yet. Like he's like the year before his prime.
Yeah.
So of course, like the Spurs are still kind of playing together and they're this good. But bro, the Chet and Wemby thing, what's the joke they always make? Chet's dang near the Chrysler 300. Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom to an actual Phantom pulls up.
Yeah.
And Wemby's the Phantom. So,
no, bro.
I think that's true. Wemby
Right.
is that guy. Chet's a third option, and I don't think Chet's not Hall of Fame level. I think Chet could be a Hall of, but if the Thunder go off and win 6 championships and
well, yeah,
and averages 25 points off those 6 championships,
you're right.
Dang near the full starting, not the full starting 5, maybe the 4 of them will be Hall of Famers. So
that's a great point. I'll give you that. Because his numbers got to be more impressive than Draymond's. No, I'm serious. Yeah. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not making fun of Draymond. I'm just saying, like, Chet is probably putting up, like, 20 points a game almost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's cool. We'll see. I think that in the playoffs, you don't want to see the Spurs. You super don't want to see the Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I think the Thunder, I think in the playoffs, we'll see a little bit more competitiveness. Depending on who they play, because having to play a good team every single night is different between playing some riffraff every once in like.
Yeah, it's
just different. It's also different for them when they play a team that can match their speed, and the Spurs can do that.
Yeah,
so like
Spurs
they have,
are fast.
Yeah, the Spurs are fast. Like De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, like those guys, they're fast. And also, I want to say they're beating on Stephon Castle for no reason. Like they were beating on him, bro. I was like, I was like watching. I was like, like they keep hitting this man. Like, and like, I think they were more worried about Stephon Castle than Wemby, since Wemby was on a minutes restriction. But like, they were, like terrorizing him. It's crazy,
bruh. Iman Shumpert had a breakdown. It'd be really good to watch. I'd definitely give him his credit, but he made a good point. I think I agree. I agree with your point, Jay. In the playoffs is different, and we saw that last year. Last year they ran away with the league. It didn't look. They weren't this good, but they were running away with the league last year too. But then they played 2 7-game series in the playoffs, even though over the whole year they had barely lost games. And I think it's because the Thunder are young enough to where they actually play pretty much to their top level every night. Yeah. Defensively, and all the rebounding, defense, like they are playing as hard as they can every night. And like it or not, like for better or for worse, most teams are not. And I think that's what we saw in this cup game. This is a semifinal cup game. It's in Vegas. They got some special pressure on it. And now the Spurs are like, all right, we're going to play our hardest too. And don't get me wrong, they didn't blow them out like we talked about, but it was a closer game. I think we'll see that in the playoffs. But Shumpert was talking about how if, as a coach, you can get your plays, which is hard. But if you can get your players, all 5 players on your team, to start fouling, basically, to start playing extremely aggressive defense, like really, really, really being physical, pushing, like poking the ball from the opening tip, like from the very start. It's very specific. All 5 players have to do it, and it has to be from the start. Then you could just get away with an egregious number of fouls. Because once you show the refs, like, this is how we are going to play. So now you have a choice. You could either call a foul on every single play, or you can only call it when it goes above what we've already shown you is normal. And so I think what they have is a special group of players that are all willing to play hard at all times, and they can do it physically because they're so young. Versus like the team out, obviously the team we cheer for, the Lakers, like you can't, like Luka and LeBron are not going to play that hard or defense like that, so they could never do something like that. And so Marcus Smart's going to get called for fouls. People are going to get called for fouls. For the Thunder, I hate it. I saw it last year in the playoffs. I'm like, that's a foul. Like they were killing Jokic in the playoffs, bro. Like as much as they could. But you know what? If the ref doesn't blow the whistle, bro, I can't actually blame the Thunder for that. That's actually that's the NBA's fault. That's the ref's fault. So
that is the NBA's
they
fault.
figured it out.
But what if the ref starts doing that? What if they're like, you know what? I don't care how long this game is. That's a foul. I'm blowing the whistle. I'll make this game 4 hours. We can keep fouling though.
If they did that, the Thunder would be in trouble.
You can get in the bonus in the first 2 minutes.
Because then they would have to guard straight up. Matter of fact, that's probably the strategy in the playoffs. Your only hope, unless you're like actually the Thunder, or not the Thunder, the Nuggets, somebody like that, your only hope is probably to start flopping, bruh. I'm flopping nonstop, trying to get in that bonus. Because, bruh, they're making every right pass. If you play great defense and you get on one-on-one, Shai's taking you one-on-one and he's going to score 50% of the time. So, like, they're kind of unbeatable from that perspective because they play defense, they play offense, and they have one guy who can just good offense beats good defense.
Every time.
Also in the camp where, honestly, I think in the playoffs when it turns like you're playing a team 4 straight times, I think the Thunder kind of blitz you that first game. Like you get blitzed, you play them once, like one off. But then when you have a good coach, people who have good IQs like Jokic, LeBron, like teams who actually play the game, they start to figure out the defense. They start to understand what's going to happen. They start making those passes a little quicker and start passing out the double team and start cutting a little better. So I think that's why as the series go, the longer the series goes on for the Thunder, I think the worse it is for them.
Yeah.
They need to put you out of the series.
Because they play a little bit different.
Yeah. And I think if you get past that 3, 4, 5 game mark, then it's like, oh, you've kind of figured out the defense. You kind of know how to make the pass. And again, it's the defense. Offensively, they're not going to blow you out the gym offensively. They do it because they get all the steals, they get all the fast break.
Yeah, fast break.
If you make them play in the half court, I think that's not
you can get them to play ISO sometimes.
Like you'll live with Shai getting 30. You'll live with that. You'll live with maybe J-Dub getting 25. But then after that, some Chet's not as consistent as you would think. Lou Dort can hit the 3, but not that consistent. Carson Wallace can't hit the 3. Hartenstein's not going to beat you. Just stop the fast break points. Stop the steals. Stop the turnovers.
Don't turn it over. Stop turning it over, bro. Because when you start turning it over, they just start wilding, bro. It looks like YMCA. Like, one team is just outmatching the other. It's not fair.
Definitely.
Hey, so Thunder, will they lose again anytime soon? Probably not.
Yeah, bro. Y'all think they're getting the 73 wins?
No.
Yeah, bro. 73 wins is hard. I'm not putting my money on it, bro. On the it's not Call Street, but on one of those betting apps, you could bet something crazy. Like, yo, will their winning streak get to like 45 games or more? I'm like, bruh, that's free money for the casino. Like, yo, they can't win 45 straight.
But people are doing it. People are doing. People that don't know ball, they're like, 24 games, bro. What's gonna stop at 40?
Yeah, and it's because, bro, you put in $10, and if you win, you're gonna get like $1,500. So they're taking it's a lottery ticket basically. But, bro,
but if 1,000 people think that, the casino wins.
The casino is chilling. They're like, this will never happen. They shouldn't even be allowed to put that on there.
All right, y'all. I think this wraps up this episode 3 of The Key. Find us out on all our platforms, YouTube, Spotify. I hope we get a Riverside deal because we really were with this joint from the beginning.
Yeah. We done rocked with these boys.
We've seen the improvements. I put in some tickets to say what I've had issues with. And you know what? Riverside responds. Great customer service.
Yeah. Riverside, we're ready for the deal. All right, I'll play this joint to it. Oh, wait, that was the wrong song. Hey, yo, peace.